Welcome back. We're continuing our look at what has become known as honor killings, which claim the lives of about 5,000 women and girls each year. The women are murdered, often by a male family member, because the men say they brought shame to the family. And joining me now is investigative journalist and author Rana Husseini. She spent much of her professional career shedding light on the subject. I'm also joined by Dr. Yakin Erturk, who is a former UN Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Women. Rana, one thing that is interesting in your book is you highlight how in many countries, especially in the Arab world, the laws actually favor those who commit honor crimes, and it's quite disturbing how the penalties can be very, very light, and there can often be a justification for what they do according to the legal system. Well, tell me about some of the things you came across.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things that also shocked me when I started working, is the little amount killers spent in prison. 3 months, 6 months, maximum 1 year, and the families have the right to drop charges, which if a man gets 1 year, then it's 6 months. So, and these are listed in all the laws in our part of the region, and we've been fighting this for the longest time. For example, in Jordan, there has been a lot of notable changes. I'm here in the US, and I read recently of a verdict that a man received 15 years for killing his sister for reasons related to family honor, and the court refused the family's request to drop charges. So, I mean, a lot has been done in Jordan, for example, on this part. Maybe they didn't change the laws, but the training on judges and criminal prosecutors is paying off. And, you know, it's now we're seeing a lot of change in attitudes within the judiciary, and this is something very important.
You had support, I think, even at a royal level. I think Queen Rania has been a big supporter.
Yes,
Prince Ali.
King Abdullah, Queen Rania, Prince Ali, Prince Hassan, Princess Basma, Queen Noor, they've all been outspoken about this issue. Even King Abdullah, for the past year, he spoke twice about violence against women and children as being a red line for him. And, you know, this is something outstanding for a head of state to be addressing this issue.
Well, you know, it's interesting, and we're seeing Queen Rania there, who of course has been very outspoken on a number of issues around the world, and is great as a woman role model from the Middle East, breaking some of the negative stereotypes that women have there.
Exactly.
And Dr. Erturk, this is an interesting issue here. Why don't many more women speak up about the issue of honor killings? And is it that they are under pressure, they don't have any voice in front of their male relatives, or is it there's a certain degree of complicity where they also feel the anger and the shame, and they've been conditioned to think that this is perhaps the right thing to do?
Well, I'm sure there's a great deal of sharing of the shame, because this is the honor issue is not just the killing of the woman, but an entire spectrum of control over women's choices. And I think we become shocked when the killing happens, but that's the most extreme expression of honor control over women. And sometimes elder women in the family are also given the task of policing the younger generations. Mm-hmm. But by and large, I think women are silenced. There's a great deal of pressure on women. The whole issue of violence against women only recently came to the agenda of international community, and national governments have started doing something about it. So I think we do need first and foremost to break the silence. But for that to happen, women need to be able to have confidence in their laws, in their system, and that their leaders are genuinely concerned. They have the political will to take some courageous steps, because there are conservatives, especially with globalization. We are seeing increasingly fundamentalist groups, extra right-wing groups, who are not very friendly towards women's equality issues. Well,
Sami is on the line from Thailand with a comment or a question. Sami, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I really appreciate your time, all of you. My question is, well, I have two questions. It's very fast. The first, if the girls are growing up in Middle Eastern society and she knows what is wrong and what is right, then when she done something wrong, why only we blame the family? Why we don't blame the girls for what she done wrong? Okay. If you know it's wrong. That's the questions one. And second, if something happened like that, okay, when girls doing something wrong, how we fix it, okay, how the family can fix it to keep their name as clean, okay, and the girls as well.
Interesting point about how does a family retain its honor, Rana, and you know, in an alternative, of course, to that kind of thing. And then Sammy's also saying that, you know, to what degree should the pressure or the blame be also put on the woman for the behavior?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the problem, that most societies or most families tend to blame women. for anything, like when it comes to so-called honor behaviors. And I always say, I direct my words to these families. If you really think that your daughter did something wrong, why don't you ask yourself where you went wrong in bringing up this your daughter instead of punishing her? I mean, it's unfair for somebody old to punish a younger person. That's
so
one
the
thing.
Education factor.
Of course, education is very, and I think on the other side, killing is out of the question. I mean, killing does not solve a problem. I will answer him if he's trying to hint that they should kill. It's not. It will never solve a problem. I think you have to do it by dialogue, by guiding your children. Actually, not only the girl, because the boy is also part of the family. They always think of the girls as if there is no man with her. Right. They tend to forget that there are also men involved in this.
Right. Ami's on the line from Denmark. Ami, what would you like to ask or say? Go ahead, Ami.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
Thank you very much. I just want to ask a question. Why not the Imam and the Muftis are not saying anything about this woman killing?
Okay, interesting, yeah. Dr. Erturk, I mean, the role of religious leaders, in this case, Ami is saying, for example, imams and mullahs, could they not actually play a greater role in trying to change the attitude of society?
Well, I would welcome everybody playing a greater role. And in some countries, such collaboration is taking place. For example, in Turkey, a few years ago, there was a statement by the religious leaders on 8th of March condemning these kinds of violence against women. But unfortunately, not always such figures are ready to intervene at this level, because these are still considered to be private matters of families, unfortunately. So by doing so, by not taking a negative stand, these figures are in fact sometimes encouraging or at least approving what is going on. So we need to bring them in. I agree very much.
Now, Iraq, Rana, is particularly is a sad story because things have gone downhill extremely for women there in the post-invasion period.
True. I mean, I hear from women activists who come to Jordan horrific stories of how women are killed there. If they want to kill a woman, they basically pour kerosene in the toilet and wait for her when she's inside, and they lock the door and they set it ablaze. And unfortunately, and they claim it's an accident, and because the situation is still chaotic there, it's very hard really to investigate these crimes, and they say there's a lot of women being killed. Not only for that, for going out to work, for just being out exposed in the street. And
there's the increasingly disturbing issue of honest suicides, where girls are pressured to commit suicide so that they're not killed by their family members and the members don't suffer the indignity of courts.
Exactly. I mean, there's this one, and also the accidental deaths that families claim that she fell from the balcony or she was run over by a car. And this is everywhere, but actually not only in Iraq. And that's why in Jordan we were like stressing that the criminal prosecutors take the murder of women more seriously, and that's what they're doing now.
Dr. Erturk, a quick thought. What more can be done at a governmental level to try to encourage a stronger punishment, or at least stronger guidance for people when it comes to these issues?
Well, first of all, I think we have to put an end to impunity and also challenge all ideological, cultural, and religious notions that justify such extreme control over women and male right to determine women's decisions and women's choices. I think we have to accept, and leaders must make the point that women are equal individuals who have the right to control their lives. And only by such equal relationships that societies can become stronger, that these issues of honor will be understood to be embedded in other areas rather than what is presumed to be women's sexual conduct.
Well, Dr. Yakin Erturk, great to have you back on the show there. Thank you for joining us from Ankara. Rana, congratulations on the book, and I hope it makes a difference too. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Murder in the Name of Honor is the book by Rana Husseini, award-winning journalist from Jordan. Thanks for being with us. Remember, you can follow the show on Facebook. Be sure to post your questions and comments, and they will include them in the show if we can. On the next show, we look at an international case with billions of dollars at stake. It's a fight between the residents of Ecuador's Amazonian rainforest, who've been suffering from oil-related environmental damage, and Chevron, which argues that it's not responsible. We'll hear from both sides on that. Make sure you have some questions for our next shows. Check what's coming up on Facebook, and we'll see you next time. From me and the team, goodbye.